Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever been on a plane? There's really nothing quite like being suspended 35,000 feet above the ground in a flying car going thousands of miles an hour. And so I do what any normal person would do on a plane, which is hope I don't die. Now, some of you can sleep on planes. I can't sleep on planes, so I like to keep myself occupied. And what better way to keep yourself occupied than challenging the plane to chess? It's always a thought of mine to battle various pieces of technology, hardware, software, in chess. I once lost a game to a treadmill, okay, at a hotel in Texas at a chess tournament. This got me thinking, should I make a series on this channel where I play against the bots that are programmed into certain devices? And I think I will. And actually, the next thing that I want to do is play a Tesla in chess, because I'm sure they have chess. So Tesla, let's do a collab, seriously. Here's a photo of me playing it. I'm also giving it the middle finger, coincidentally. That's me. You might not believe it, but yeah, that's me. I played this plane in 4 different levels, okay? It had 4 levels programmed into it. The last level was called the Grandmaster level. So we're gonna see whether or not I can defeat an airplane, okay? Terrific stuff, all right? And yeah, maybe this is the start of a new series. Let me know what you would like to see. Okay, so I opened up against airplane level 1 with d4. Now, here's the thing about bots. You don't know if level 1 is Martin Chessbot on chess.com, which is, you know, essentially a recovering alcoholic, which, of course, you should seek therapy and help if you need it, but doesn't play chess like he ever got sober. Knight f6, knight c3. And the memes begin early as plane level 1 plays rook to g8. That's a new move. I swear to God, I have never seen that before. And you know, it got me thinking, like, why haven't I seen it before? I mean, it's a logical... Yeah. So what do you do when your opponent plays stupidly? You take the center, right? I mean, you got to be principled. You can put 2 pawns in the center. You should put 2 pawns in the center. And already the bot is completely lost because when your opponent puts knights out against pawns, you should attack the knights. You're actually going to learn some stuff here as a beginner. I mean, I know this sounds kind of dumb, but you will learn some things because, yeah, this plains level 1 mode was not very good. When you have pawns against knights, you should attack the knights. And actually, in this case, this knight can now no longer return home because of the really powerful move, rook to g8. What I was not expecting, however, is the next move. Because the bot went rook b8, and I was like, oh my god. I almost didn't play the rest of the levels just because of this, because I thought, all right, well, this is just really stupid. This isn't going to make good content. But then I thought, actually, this absolutely will make good content, because I could probably talk about paint on a wall, and you would listen because I'm funny. And thank you for that. Tennis ball. Anyway, e takes f6, g takes f6, knight f3, e6, d5. Now, of course, I can continue to develop and everything, but I'm up material, and I have a little bit more kind of central presence, so I want to bust open the center of the board, because that will allow me to transfer pieces into my opponent's territory. My opponent plays knight b4, and I play the move a3 here, essentially forcing off a trade of knights, or, I don't know, my opponent would lose this knight. Take, 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 take. And now, of course, there are 2 ways to win a chess game when you are already, well, I guess there's multiple ways you can also win on time, but I mean, you can just go for mate, you can use your overwhelming material advantage to go for a checkmate, or you can just simplify down into a winning endgame. I went bishop c4, threatening a checkmate. Now, to the bot's credit, it did hang mate in 1, but it took a free pawn, which I suppose is a moral victory. Then it promptly got checkmated. Okay, that wasn't, you know, that was the equivalent of me walking down to the playground here in New York City and kicking a 4-year-old in the face, which for legal reasons I don't condone, unless you're also 4. If you're 4 and you beat up a 4-year-old, that's fair game. I mean, can we just, that's a reasonable statement. You could even be 3 or 5, all right? We'll take either. I'm not, this was not, I'm not impressed by this, but I had to share it, all right? Now, game number 2. All right, game number 2. Oh, I didn't even change my name here. I'm just White. Whatever, Walter White. d4. Again, this I'm trying to test out some of my d4 lines. I have no idea how good this is. Now, I play the Tripowski, and to my dismay, level 2 plane plays a main line. I was like, what? This thing played c5? That's one of the best moves. Now d5, and, you know, the computer here can play queen b6, or d6, or g6. and it plays knight e4, which is, I mean, we're literally in a mainline Trompowsky. Now I'm panicking, all right? I am not happy about this. I do not want to be playing a bot that like knows some sort of openings. Now I play h4, which is known as the Raptor variation. This is in my my d4 Dynamite course, but also just one of my favorite lines to play in the Trompowsky. The bot goes here. I play knight d2, forcing a decision out of the knight, which way it's going to capture. It takes, and this gives me various tactical possibilities on the h-file. Generally, white is very happy here. Bishop g7, c3, and this time, instead of blundering in 2 moves, the bot plays a stupid move in 7 moves. However, I will say that to me it's stupid, but like to the average player, it might not be so obvious why my opponent's next move is bad. What is so bad about the move f6? I mean, if you think about it, it's trying to get me to make a decision, right? It's trying to, but here's the thing. I'm stronger here, okay? I am stronger on this side. So by playing a move like this, which also blocks your bishop and weakens the light squares around your king, you're fighting back on the side where I'm stronger. And in reality, you should probably focus more on the center. Queen out, maybe knight d7, bring a knight. You can play h6. That is a little bit more reasonable than f6 because it doesn't weaken your king. But I immediately spot some weaknesses and I play queen c2. And the idea of queen c2 is obviously, first of all, I can long castle now, but there's a tactic. And luckily, the bot does not see the tactic. And the tactic is really quite glorious. It's not queen takes g6 because that's defended, but it is sacrificing the rook on h7. And now queen g6 hits the king and that rook. So after rook h7, there would be this, and I would be winning back my rook, and I would also be up a pawn, and this king can't castle, and I've got various very nasty follow-ups. So my return on investment was quite quick with rook h7. However, here the bot plays the top computer move. Ironic. It plays king f7, which is actually the best move. And that kind of guards g6. And material is equal, but why is white +2? White is +2 because white has a good structure. White has a little bit more center space. Black's king is very weak, and white has very obvious targets. So here I play the move knight f3, targeting the pawn on g5. I was expecting bishop f6, after which I would go here, but the bot went g4. Unfortunately, g4 just loses the game on the spot. So g4 loses to knight g5, king e8, queen g6, king d8, knight f7, king c7, and now, before I took the queen, I played the move d6 check, king b6, discovered check, took the queen, made a new queen, I should have promoted to a knight, and hunted down the black king with my queens. Can't take because of the pin, multiple pins here, discovered attack, and this one took me 23 moves to checkmate the bot, but I did, all right? Now this one was a little bit better, but I still managed to win the game. The next 2 were pretty intense though. Before I show you those games though, today's video is sponsored by Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN, or a virtual private network, that allows you to connect to the internet in a secure and confidential way. You might need a VPN for a few reasons. For example, if you want to travel, where you connect to the internet from might determine the price of your air ticket. If you want to travel, sometimes where your connection comes from will determine the price of your airfare. So if you connect with Surfshark to a different country, sometimes you may save some money. Now let's say you flew and you get off the plane and you're at your hotel. The internet might not be secure, so logging into a sensitive portal like your work email or a bank account might be better and more secure if you use Surfshark. But there's also fun reasons to use a VPN. What if you're watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine or The Office and it's no longer available in the country you stream from? Well, it ain't rocket science. Use Surfshark, connect to a different country, and now you'll be able to see that country's catalog. And boom, now you're enjoying your favorite show again, although you should also just watch my videos. And the great thing about Surfshark is you can get an unlimited number of devices connected just on one subscription. They also have an app for virtually every platform: Android, iOS, Smart TV, PC, Mac, Linux, Xbox, PlayStation, and even a toaster. For legal reasons, you cannot actually use Surfshark on a toaster yet. Folks, you know how this works. If you're interested in Surfshark, click the link in the description below. If you use my code Gotham, you'll get 83% off and 3 free months. And if you hate Surfshark, they offer a 30-day money-back, no questions asked guarantee. Now that you're done connecting to the internet in a more secure way, let's get back to the video. Hi, it's me again. I hope you enjoyed that ad read. So now it's game 3, and I decided I couldn't play white every game, so I decided to play black. Once again, I have absolutely no idea how good the plane is. So we have a queen's gambit. So I'm like, okay. and I play a6. a6 is my upcoming repertoire. Queen's Gambit declined with a6. I'm going to be launching this on Chessly quite soon. And this game, the bot played like a super solid opening. I mean, it played a Queen's Gambit with b3, supporting the center, and I'm playing a very solid and defensive setup. Now here the bot trades on d5 right away. This is a little bit of a rush decision. There is really no beneficiary of this trade, other than me. I mean, I am really quite happy here about the turn of events. I'm gonna go bishop d6. I'm gonna go bishop b7. I'm gonna castle. I'm gonna put a rook in the e file, and life is going to be good. So bishop d3. You see all this, and I castle. And this is sort of me finishing my developmental scheme. Now, the pawn on a6 is actually very useful because it prevents knight b5 in many cases, and I can even consider playing the move b5 myself. It's a balanced game, but I also have ideas of advancing with c5, bringing my rook to c8, and as you can see, when everything opens up, my bishops do point in that direction. So how would I activate that? I would plop my knight into the center, which clears the queen. I can also play knight e4, pawn to f5, and that allows both my queen and my rook to rotate over this way and start some sort of attack. This only works because a lot of kind of the infiltration squares for my opponent are covered, and I'm winning the battle for the center. So bishop b2, rook e8, so far so good. And here I already can kind of make this bishop make a decision. Will it isolate itself on h3, or will it go somewhere back there? But I decided I'm going to play the move knight e4 immediately. This was actually not the most accurate move, because here my opponent can probably get a knight into the center somehow, if they want to. They can also play like knight e4, d4, and then knight e5, trying to get a bunch of exchanges going. And if the bot had done that, it would have been here, 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 and probably a draw. I mean, if this would have happened, it would have been crazy. I would have been like, wow, I can't even beat level 3. How on earth am I going to beat the GM level? So instead of that, however, the bot went here, and I continued supporting my center. And again, I've talked about it. Winning the battle here for the center is very important. I'd like to ideally shove these pieces back a little bit. So I played queen e7, more support in the center, and rook d8 on the way. And notice how I've completely restricted my opponent's piece play. None of these pieces can really get involved, and none of the pawns can really get involved, which means it's now time for black to start calling the shots, and I play the move g6. G6 forces the bishop to go there, because if takes, I would be winning material. So bishop h3, and now what? All right, black is better, but now what? Well, now what? I decided I am going to remove any play, so I'm going to play b5. So now my opponent's knight can't move forward at all. And the next thing that I was going to do, what's like the tipping point of this position? Where can I actually break in? And I realized on the king side, I realized that due to the complete locked nature of the position, I can use my H and G pawns. Now the computer likes this move to play something like knight g5, king g7, rook h8, and start an attack like that. I mean, it's super sophisticated stuff. I was just thinking h5. I really like this idea because first of all, I have this, and second of all, I can anchor my knight in on g4. h5 is a really, really nice idea. I was very proud of this, actually. I know you think, oh, this is dumb. You're playing some bot on a plane. What a stupid video. You clickbaited me. You're losing your hair. Your hoodie's ugly. I don't know. These are just probably things I think about myself due to my imposter syndrome. But king h1, and I thought, you know, h5 is a nice idea. I was very proud of this because the center is completely locked. I'm keeping the tension. I'm disallowing my opponent, you know, from doing anything in the position. So king g1 and now knight g4, and I thought, I'm in great shape. Now, as it turns out, of course, I'm not in great shape because I rushed with knight g4, and apparently I should have gone here first and only focused on the queen side. This is what Stockfish wants. After I went knight g4, apparently my opponent could have gone takes, knight e5, which I thought didn't work, but due to all the tactics, it does. You see, I would be winning a pawn, but unfortunately I would be walking directly into the line of attack, and this is too dangerous. Looks like I'm, you know, potentially starting some. I have nothing. I'm just losing material. So, rook dd1 was played in the game, though, and the bot fell apart. It just couldn't sustain my pressure. It ended up sacrificing its queen. Oh, my God. And we won a nice positional game. Now, the way you win a game where you have a queen for some material, You trade the rooks, you get the queen in, and bishop b4, and actually, the bot resigned here. Because I guess the higher level the bot gets, it realizes that resigning is an option. So it just decided to resign. But if the thing is, it can't really defend itself. Like if it plays rook c1, I'm gonna take, and then I'm gonna sack my queen for checkmate, and I don't know. I gotta be careful though. I really shouldn't piss the chess bot off on a plane. Who knows what it'll do to like the engine and stuff. Although there's 4 of them. That's what they say. Anyway, bishop b4, I would be simplifying and the move rook e1 doesn't work because queen e1, and then it's back ranked mate. So, 3-0. We've moved on to the Grandmaster level bot. All right? And this was a fun one. All right? This was a fun one. I began with d4, and it went queen a5 check, and I was like, what? This is your Grandmaster level bot? I mean, I'm pretty sure it called it Kasparov. It was literally trying to say that it was modeled after Kasparov. If Gary Kasparov saw somebody play queen a5 on the second move, he would punch them in the face. Like, I don't know if Gary has violent tendencies, but knight c3 and by the way, I love how Stockfish saying this is an inaccuracy. Anyway, just like we saw in game 1, 2 pawns in the center if possible. Now, the bot in this position played queen b4, which is a very funny move. It looks like a fork, right? But it's not. It's not a fork because after a3, white is winning if you play queen takes b2. Like, you can't take that because the queen is hanging. And in this position, I had calculated that after rook b1, queen here, I just have a winning position after knight b5. And you cannot stop knight c7. And by the way, I might not even have to go knight c7. But knight c7 does win a rook. Like, I can maybe even go here. And if knight a6, there's a way to trap the queen with rook a1, which is just really brutal. So I tricked this Grandmaster level bot, right? And I sent it backwards. And we had the following position. I mean, yeah, Stockfish here is just giving me some, like, you know, it wants me to go e5. You guys know the feeling. You play a great game. You run it through game review. It tells you that you have 7 brain cells left, if even. In general, this was the position from the opening, and I had a slight advantage, right? So I played bishop c4, which it calls a mistake, even though, you know, it's plus 1.4, and after this, it's plus 1.1. Shut up. All right? Castles, rook e8. All right, and here I was very proud. What? It just wiped the names of... All right, whatever. That was not supposed to happen. It wiped the names of the players because I removed the feedback of, like, the question marks. All right, terrific. Love it. Excellent stuff. Thank you, chess.com. Rook e8, d6. Now, you may ask yourself, Levy, isn't d6 just losing a pawn 2 different ways? If you play it, yes. If I play it, yes, but also I had an idea. The thing is, if I just slow play, like if I play rook e1, what is my opponent going to do? d6, right? And I'll play another move, and then they're going to develop, and I'll defend, and they're going to finish their development. And sooner than later, I'm not going to have as big of an advantage, although it says it's plus 2 because you can play g4. But if I play a bunch of natural-looking moves, I might lose my advantage. As you saw here, after h3, it's down to plus 1. After d6, it's down to like plus 1. It was plus 0.8 a moment ago, but whatever. So I played d6. Why did I play d6? d6 is a really cool idea. The point is that something has to capture this. And my bishop now sees f7, and here I calculated the entire sequence of moves after this. Bishop d6, knight g5. So I'm making my opponent be gluttonous to take this pawn, and now they have to guard f7, and they're a move behind developing. 2 moves, because they have to move this piece. So opponent goes rook f8. Now, how do I add another player to the attack? My knight is good, my bishop is good, my other knight is good. This is probably going to happen. So what do I need to play right now? I need to bring my queen. So that if h6 happens, I can go in, and normally it's bad to give up a bishop for 2 rooks, but that's never my idea. My idea is rook e1. And there is no way to stop my infiltration with queen and rook because I have completely immobilized 11 points of your material. So d6 was a super nice idea, blocking the development of my opponent. Why did I say? I was going to say the developmental plans, and then I said development, and I said development. So queen f3, and here the bot decides to be greedy and take a second pawn. And from this point forward, I played 10 straight top engine moves. So in this position, I played 10 straight stockfish moves to win the game. First, queen d3. The idea of queen d3, defending c2, threatening to trap the queen d6, and various queen h7s. b5. Now, in this position I can take, and I can also try to maybe trap the queen, but then this and then this. So in this position I played another top engine move, knight d5. Threatening to remove this knight with check, and checkmate on the next move. That is now my threat. Opponent needs to block. However, this had a secret idea. The secret idea was bishop c3. And now the queen is trapped because if bc4 trying to counterattack me, I have a check, then I have a double check, and then I rotate my queen and threaten to mate while your queen is still hanging. So bishop c3 forces the bot to sacrifice its queen. I take the queen back, and now obviously any person would resign here, but knight g4, knight f6 check, take, and yes, I'm losing my bishop on c4, but it doesn't matter because I bring a rook, and in this position, I am threatening various forms of attack, but none more brutal than the following. Knight takes f7, and my opponent never had a chance to finish development. Knight h6 is mate, so you take, and I go check, here, boom. Woo! That was fun. Airplane successfully defeated. Some of these games were harder than others. This was not a GM level bot to finish things off, and we won. Humanity prevailed. Let me know if you would like me to make this a series. I can try to play toasters, refrigerators. I don't know. I don't know what's out there that has a chess bot programmed into it. But ever since I lost that game to a treadmill at a hotel in Texas at a chess tournament, I've been thinking, I should play like a Tesla in chess. I should do some more fun collaborative stuff. This was a good start. But yeah. 4-0. Gotham versus Airplane.